Fret Mill Music Company is proud to be part of the music community by bringing you Appalachian Vibes, a show challenging the expectations and highlighting the diversity of music created here in the Appalachian region. I'm your host, Amanda Bakke. Appalachia spans across 13 states and over 205,000 square miles from southern New York to northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. The Appalachian Mountains were formed over 480 million years ago, and 25 million people call these mountains home. Franklin County, Virginia, a community settled in the 1700s, became famous during the Prohibition era as the capital of moonshine in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, a child of the Appalachian Mountain Range. My first guest is Jojo Stockton from Franklin County, Virginia.
I come from very humble beginnings from Franklin County and probably all over Franklin County, not just one area. So we kind of moved all over Franklin County. So Sontag, Snow Creek, Glade Hill, True Vine, then finally moved into Rocky Mount, which is considered town of Franklin County. So just all over.
What did your family do in Franklin County? Were you on a farm?
Well, yeah, I grew up. My dad raised tobacco for a couple years, so I was a field hand. So I basically worked for free. And but you know, when you're a kid, you don't even realize it. You're just out, you're having fun, and then when your dad brings you to a store and says, "Hey, get anything you want," and you get like a bag of chips and a soda, you're like, "Yeah." And you just work 13 hours for a bag of potato chips and a soda. But yeah, when you're a kid, you're just having fun and hanging out with your dad. So out of all the boys, I'm the only one who plays guitar. So he was a guitar player. And his dad was a guitar player, and on generations back, even some of the women were guitar players further back. So just, I guess I get it honest.
Is that why you started playing guitar?
Well, I used to walk around behind my dad with a broom, acting like I could play, more of a joke. And you know how you always want to be like your dad growing up. Most boys do. And I didn't even pick up a guitar seriously until I was probably 16.
That's the Jimi Hendrix thing, you know, pretending on a broom.
Yeah, basically.
That's what he did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what he did.
Wow, see?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
And I think he passed in 73, which is when I was born. So a lot of coincidences.
Oh.
Just saying.
You're the reincarnation of Hendrix.
I don't know about that. I seriously doubt that.
This goes out to the good people of True Vine. Tobacco fields, corn crops. I snapped some beans. I picked some squash. I grew up over yonder, just beyond the pines. I moved to the city one day, but still had me some country ways. We used to go down to Buddy's, they drinking booze, dice games in the back, my pops in the front playing blues. Outside they pitching horseshoes, but you ain't gon' win if your last name wasn't Muse. Moved to the city one day, but I still had me some country ways. I'm country than chicken coops, y'all. I'm country than hog jaws. My granddaddy wore flannel shirts and blue jean bib coveralls. He grew up over yonder, just beyond the pines. I moved to the city one day, but I still had me some country ways. Hey, man. chicken coops, y'all. I'm country than hog jaws. My granddaddy wore flannel shirts and blue jean bib coveralls. He grew up over yonder, just beyond the pines. I moved to the city one day, but I still had me some country ways.
Back then, you have nip joints. Some people call them juke joints, whatever. They sold liquor by the shot or moonshine or whatever you had. And my dad was that guy. He's the one playing the music. So as a kid, I was going to places like that. And my dad was playing in places like that. And they would shoot dice. And he would hand me some money. And I didn't know why. But that's just kind of the way I grew up.
So did your dad's style influence how you developed as an artist?
Absolutely. So there's different kinds of blues. Yeah. And so you got Chicago blues and you got Memphis style blues, you got Texas blues. My dad listened to a lot of Jimmy Reed, which is older style, but even in my album, some of my favorite songs are done the Jimmy Reed way. And it's a basic 12-bar shuffle blues. And he listened to a lot of Buddy Guy, which is one of my idols growing up. And so you get Chicago style blues. And so that's basically what I do. And I just add kind of a funky twist to it because I grew up around hearing a lot of great bass players. And so that influenced the way I do blues.
Yeah, you know, when you grilling out, you got that burn on the side to keep that chili hot. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. I'll keep you satisfied. I don't wanna be your main squeeze. You never gotta ask me, please. We ain't joined at the hip. Oh, but I don't wanna quit. Oh, baby, no. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. I'll keep you satisfied. You ain't got to call me your man, but you can call me when you can. We ain't joined at the hip, no. Oh, but I don't wanna quit. Oh, baby, no. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. I'll keep you satisfied. side. Keep me on your burner, baby. I'll keep you satisfied. I don't wanna be your ball and chain. I don't wanna be your everything. We ain't joined at the hip, but I don't wanna quit. Oh, baby, come on. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. I'll keep you satisfied. She left my key at the front desk. All night long, she gave me her best. We ain't joined at the hip, but I don't wanna quit. Oh, baby, come on. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the squad. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby. Keep me on the side. Keep me on your burner, baby.
Fret Mill Music Company is Southwest Virginia's premier destination for quality acoustic instruments and accessories since 1979. We stock new, used, and vintage instruments, including acoustic, electric, and bass guitars, effects, amplifiers, ukuleles, mandolins, banjos, and more. Come check out our selection today. Do you have a stringed instrument just collecting dust in the corner of your room? Fret Mill Music Company also does consignments. Bring your gear in today and let us sell it for you. Appalachian Vibes is a new show highlighting the diversity of music created in the Appalachian region. Each week, 3 artists share their music and the stories that inspired their art. Tune in every weekday at noon for the Appalachian Vibes segment and Saturday at 8 a.m. and Sunday at 6 p.m. for the full hour. You're listening to Appalachian Vibes on 101.5 The Mountain. I'm your host, Amanda Bakke, and my guest is Jojo Stockton.
Everybody has a different writing style. And my writing style that seems to work, first of all, I'm usually not at a lack of words. In other words, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I also was a rapper for years. So it's no problem for me to find lyrics and make things work. That's just what I've been doing since I was probably 6 years old. Like, that's what I used to do. So people who really know me already know that about me. So I used to rap, and so the words are not a problem. When I got into playing live music and instruments, I stopped cold turkey and started playing music. The way I write, you would think the words would come first, but they don't. So I hear the chord progression first. And so I'll play the progression and just play it and mumble to it. Not even words. I'll just mumble to the progressions until the words show up. You know, that's the thing I can't force. I can't force words to show up. I can't speed it up. I can't think of a concept and then make the words match that concept. So in other words, one song that I'll probably give you is 4 or 5. So I wrote that song. I went to bed and I said, all right, I'm turning 45 and I'm going to write a song called 45. And so I went to bed and I woke up 3 o'clock once again. And I heard a chord progression. I just started playing it. Well, at the end of the day, a couple Jack and Cokes later, the song 4 or 5 was born. And it had nothing to do with me turning 45. So that's an example of, if I deliberately try to write a song about a certain thing, It rarely happens. The reason I say I almost called this album 3 a.m. is because it was almost, it was either 2:58, 3:02, 3:04. I would wake up and wrote every one of those songs that was on the Cookies and Ice Cream CD, and they would just fit. And then I wrote the 8 songs and got writer's block. So I recorded the songs, made the album, and by the time Hoppy Vaughn finished mixing the last track and the album was sealed, then I started writing again. So to me, it was meant to be that those 8 songs only belong on that CD. Because you know how when you buy a CD, you fast forward a couple songs, or you hope that you'll get 4 good ones out of 8 and you didn't waste your money. This is back when you had to buy a CD. You couldn't just download the songs you wanted. Those 8 specifically belong to that album, and that's why I know that's true. And then I stopped waking up at 3 a.m. It was the weirdest thing.
I just got my pay after the longest day. Now it's time for me to play till about 4 or 5. I'm finally free. Ain't no time clock on me. I'ma drink 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I grab my guitar like I'm a guitar freaking star. Then I hit every bar till about 4 or 5. I met a bunch of ladies, half of them crazy, but they all love me. It was 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I drink a lot of rum, acting young and dumb. I got 99 problems, but music ain't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing on my back, but a guitar strap. Time to lay down a track or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. 4 or 5, 4 or 5, yes. I grab my guitar like I'm a guitar freaking star. Then I hit every bar to about 4 or 5. I met a bunch of ladies, shoot, half of them crazy, but they all love me. It was 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I drink a lot of rum, acting young and dumb. I got 99 problems, but music ain't 1, 2 or 3, 4, 5. Nothing on my back but a guitar strap. Time to lay down a track or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. 4 or 5. No, 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 no. 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
This is Appalachian Vibes on 101.5 The Mountain, brought to you by Fretmill Music Company. Deep in southwest Virginia, in a valley surrounded by the Blue Ridge Mountains, lies the city of Roanoke, also known as the Star City. For the largest neon man-made star in the world, it sits atop Mill Mountain overlooking the entire valley. My next guest is Stuart Brown. So where are you from?
I'm from Roanoke. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, Roanoke.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it here. It's my grandparents. They were preachers or whatever. They raised me. So my grandma had 11 kids, plus me, plus all the other grandkids. So it's been like a great vibe, a great experience. Humbling. That's why I get a lot of my singing abilities from the church. But my love for music is it goes abroad. Everything, which is from country, rock and roll, opera. I love to hear the different aspects of music, because I feel like when people are performing on stage, it's almost as if they're telling their story.
Yeah.
Or giving you what you would say, giving you their pain. And that's what made me start singing. Being raised by my grandparents, I used to want my mom and dad all the time. So, I used to look at my cousins and be like, they got their mom and dad, and then I'll break down and go to my room and cry, then I just start singing to myself. Or listen to or hear a song, and then I just go to my room, cut the lights off, and just start singing to myself, just emptying out my pain. This is a man's world, baby. This is a man's world, baby. But it would mean nothing, nothing, no, 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 without a little girl. Ooh, sing. Man made the cars to take us on the road. Man made the trains to carry the heavy load. Man made the electric lights to take us out of the dark. Yes, he did. Man made the boat for the water, like Noah made the ark. Sad is the man's world, but it would be nothing, nothing without a woman or a little girl. No, 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 no. Man thinks about a baby girl and our baby boy. That's right. Man make them happy, 'cause man make them toys like Fortnite. Makes everything he can. He makes money to buy from other kids. Makes everything he can. He makes money to buy from other kids. Sad is the man's world, but it would be nothing, nothing without a woman or a little girl. Every now and then I would go visit my mom. So then I would hear, and growing up with my granddad, he didn't allow us to listen to a lot of secular music, R&B and different things. So when I did go with my mom and her side of the family, I would listen to the Bobby Brown or the with So For Real or different things, and or we'll ride down and I hear like a little rock and roll song, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I like this. So then I have to go back to my granddad's house and hide it, like singing under my breath. but I'm loving it, you know. And there were stories where, you know, I'll come from my mom's house and I go to church, and I'll be in church doing the Michael Jackson grab yourself dance, and my granddad would whoop me because I done picked up on it, or I do a split, MC Hammer split in the middle of church. So it's just funny growing up. I always knew I was a rock star.
And you really are a rock star.
Thank you.
You're absolutely incredible.
Thank you. Street lights along the highway, fighting shadows in the dark, and the memories keep on turning to the rhythm of a broken heart. You only need a roof when it's raining. You only need fire when it's cold. You only need a drink of the whiskey when it's the only thing you have to hold. Sun comes up and goes back down, and fall, it feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the words and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your parachute. Shoo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. There's a song that I remember I never learned to play, and a lifetime of forgotten words I never got to say. You only need a roof when it's raining. You only need fire when it's cold. You only need a drink of the whiskey when it's the only thing you have to hold. Sun comes up and goes back down, and fall, it feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the words and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your parachute. Parachute. La da 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 da. Twiddle the pop pop dee doo. If you think you're going down, yes, just know I will be around. Oh no 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 no. You only need a roof when it's raining. You only need fire when it's cold. You only need a drink of the whiskey when it's the only thing you have to hold. Sun comes up and goes back down, and fall, it feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the words and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I'm gonna bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I'm gonna bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I'm gonna bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got a girl on the south side, she got braids in her hair. Every time she walk by, And man, I fall out my chair. I tried to get her number. It took about 6 weeks. And me and the girl go way back, like Cadillac seats. Body like a back road, driving with my eyes closed. I know every curve like the back of my hand. I do a 15 and a 30. I ain't in no hurry. I'ma take it slow, as fast as I can. I said, pour some sugar on me. In the name of love, pour some sugar on me. Pour some sugar on me. In the name of love, pour some sugar on me. Tweedle do bop bop ba dibble goom ba bap dum bang bang bang. A chop it bop rap dum bang bang ba dibble goom ba dibble dum bang bang. A tweedle do ba dibble goom ba dibble ba da wa dum man da man ba da. A tweedle do ba dibble do ba da bang dum ba dibble bang.
So you've got a single coming up.
Right.
You're transitioning into original music. You're the human jukebox. Where do you see yourself going?
Yes, I do have a new single coming out. It's called More of Your Love. Produced by Cameron Hughes. He's the piano player. I just want to tell a story. This is a young man who was raised by his grandparents. All he ever wanted was to be loved by his mom and dad. I mean, you know, we have a relationship now. We talk, we good. But as a child, you know, my ambitions was I want to be somebody that the world knows, and to show my mom and dad, this is what you missed out on. You know, this is what you missed out on. I want to be that person to give hope to another child or another adult that's fighting their past, whether they were abused by their parents or left by their parents. I want to be an inspiration to a child or adult, because even adults fight that in their heads, like, you know.
Why didn't they want me?
Yeah, and then sometimes you might see yourself taking it out on your kids.
Yeah.
So me personally, I want to be that person to say, this is what you missed out on. This is what I can be when I grow older. I want to be this. When I made the song, I was thinking about what America or this world is going through as a whole. We weren't getting out much singing. Musicians are going crazy because they don't know how they're going to meet their ends meet, because sometimes this is all musicians have. I haven't worked in 2 years because of my heart condition, you know, and the medicine I'm on. So music is all I have. And so, like, even the shows that we get, sometimes I used to tell Jojo, I don't care if it's a free show, I will go. I just want to sing music. So, but last year was rough. Like, because this show canceled because of COVID, or this and this canceled because of COVID. So when I came up with More of Your Love, I was just looking at, like, people say they need you, but sometimes their words are far from their actions. Like, I need you, but you don't show me that you need me, or you don't show me that you appreciate me. But yet, regardless, I'm going to still be right here wanting more of your love. So that's how I came up with the concept of the song. And plus, I was trying to give hope to people as far as, because like I said, we was losing a lot of people last year. As far as the COVID situation, you was afraid if you're going to lose your loved one or anything. So my mindset was like, it's time to stop taking people for granted. It's time to stop taking life for granted. This music situation, it's time to stop taking it for granted. You say you need me, but I don't think you do. Does your heart see me crying out for you? I was lost, but somehow I found my way back to you. Even when you think you're all alone, I'm standing there, wanting more of your love, more of your love, more of your love, more of your love, more of your love. Patiently waiting for just one touch from you, anticipating just to embrace you. I was lost, but somehow I found my way back to you. Even when you think you're all alone, I'm standing there, wanting more of your love, 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 more of your love. Even when you think you're all alone, raining down. Even when you think you're all alone, more of your love, 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 more of your
Every Saturday, Fret Mill Music Company features a different guitar of the week from our store. It will be 10% off for that week only, so come and get it before it's gone. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to be in the know regarding all our specials.
Appalachian Vibes is a new show highlighting the diversity of music created in the Appalachian region. Each week, 3 artists share their music and the stories that inspired their art. Tune in every weekday at noon for the Appalachian Vibes segment, and Saturday at 8 a.m. and Sunday at 6 p.m. for the full hour. Cut from the rolling hills and deep mountains of Bedford, just outside Lynchburg, Virginia, is the rural antebellum town of Forest, an area heavily influenced by the popularity of Liberty University, a fundamental Christian school founded by the late Jerry Falwell. Singer-songwriter Caleb Michael Settje is from Forest, Virginia.
Every sin is equal in God's eyes, but there, at least in my growing up, there are definitely levels to the sins that you would commit, or, stigmas around specific lifestyles or specific choices. And so it was something that I just buried deeply inside of me. And from a very young age, I just learned to internalize shame and guilt and self-loathing and confusion and loneliness. I didn't know anyone else who was really struggling with this, I say. I didn't have any comfort. I didn't feel like I could talk to anyone because it was so taboo, and especially back in the 90s, early 2000s, and years and years before that, it was even more taboo societally, in terms of the nation, how they viewed people like homosexuals, queers, anyone who was different from being straight.
Your love's overwhelming. Your love is an ocean. The longer you kiss me, deeper I dive. rises in the north, sets in the west. I just don't understand how you can be so unkind. Your love is a morning, and I'm falling behind. But baby, why'd you have to go? Why you gotta make me cry? The sun is hiding and the sky is so blue. It could have been so perfect, would have given you the world. Now I just don't know what to do. Your love is a Tuesday night alone at the bar, drinking my troubles, forgetting my name. Now I can see straight, I'm drunk and I'm way too high. Your love is a Wednesday and I'm sleeping it by. But baby, why'd you have to go? Why you gotta make me cry? The sun is hiding and the sky is so blue. Could have been so perfect, would have given you the world. Now I just don't know what to do.
Then when I officially decided to come out as gay, I remember I made a post on Facebook, actually, and it wasn't even about being gay. The entire thing, except for the last sentence, was about just love in general and about priorities that we have as human beings, and how I felt that over time things have gotten so confused, and how we're supposed to just like make the most of the moments that we live in and connect with people and appreciate what we have and a bunch of other things. And then in the last sentence I wrote, also, I'm gay. And I remember getting some very upsetting phone calls
Really?
from people who were just not in support and who called me selfish, saying, why would you, like, if this is something that's like your life, like, why wouldn't you just keep it in private? Why would you have to like open up about that? Why would you have to put our family in an uncomfortable position? Why would you have to like be public and everything? Just a lot of upsetting, very, very hurtful things. And so for a year or two, maybe a little bit longer, it was very difficult. And there was a lot of tension and trauma on top of trauma that already existed, and cue more internalized shame, more internalized grief, because I'm a very sensitive person. I'm extremely empathetic, you know. I'm a people pleaser, and I was to a fault, you know, growing up. So I would set myself on fire to keep other people warm. That's the analogy I always use.
I used to dance, I used to fight. Had a kick in my step, thought I'd never forget, never questioned why. I used to fly, I used to soar. Never a single thought unaccounted for. But who could have known that love would expire? You'd get over it. 'Cause I sure as hell didn't. No, I sure as hell didn't. Now I got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And that's no good for someone with such a troubled mind. Oh, and I got nothing to say, nothing to feel. Call the devil, make the deal. But who could have known that love would expire and you'd get over it? 'Cause I sure as hell didn't. No, I sure as hell didn't.
Wanting a new instrument? Fret Mill Music Company offers trade-ins, layaways, and credit options. In the month of February, get approved for a Synchrony credit card and receive a $100 Visa prepaid card by mail.
You're listening to Appalachian Vibes. I'm Amanda Bakke. If you're just joining me, my guest is Caleb Michael Settje.
My birth father was black and my birth mom was white.
And you were adopted at birth and raised by two white parents. So, being a mixed-race person, have you ever experienced racism, or has race ever entered into the equation and you didn't have the capacity to understand why you were being treated differently?
Only a handful of times. And honestly, all of those times have been when I have been like relatively older. One of them was actually like 2 months ago. And all of them involved someone driving by and yelling like the N-word with a hard R at me.
Wow.
Or me and my sister or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy. It happened to me in Lynchburg 1 or 2 times. Happened to me and my sister in Michigan. Her husband's from Michigan. And we literally were getting out of a lake. Like we went tubing, like just floating down a river.
Yeah.
And someone on the highway, like somehow like saw us and decided to just go out their way to like, you know, yell that slur at us. I brushed it off because I was like, it says nothing about me. It speaks only on their character, you know?
Of course.
And there's no point in getting hung up on that. But it was definitely, it's upsetting. Like, but I think more so, it just sent me deeper into my heart and to think like, there are tons of people experiencing far worse than this. And like, if this can have even like the slightest amount of emotional effect, even if it's like a millisecond, like there's people who are experiencing far worse, who have experienced far worse. And like, it just kind of makes my heart sad, not necessarily for myself, but for the people who are experiencing it full force, however you want to say it.
Suffered enough. We've lost so much. And please set us free. Let us be. I'm not sure why it's so hard to see that we're just searching for something to hold, looking for a fire to warm our cold hands, holding hands while we're listening to the radio. Sometimes it's so hard to understand how the most of us can share this land. We're standing here while we're listening to the radio, singing everything will somehow be okay. Everything will somehow be okay. Stop the crying. Can we try and work it out? The end is near and there's still so much fear. God, please help this sinner. That we need, 'cause it's not hard to see that we're just searching for something to hold, looking for a fire to warm our cold hands, holding hands while we're listening to the radio, singing everything will somehow be. Sometimes it's so hard to understand how the most of us can share this land. We're standing here while we're listening to the radio, singing everything will somehow be okay. somehow be okay. Ooh. Everything will somehow be. Everything will somehow be okay.
I too have a dream. I dream of a love that surpasses all hatred, and am somehow left with hope for a safer tomorrow.
Appalachian Vibes is brought to you by Fretmill Music Company, your premier acoustic instrument destination.
I'm your host, Amanda Bakke. If you've enjoyed this episode of Appalachian Vibes, head on over to AppalachianVibes.com to check out the music from our featured artists. If you'd like to nominate your favorite artists from the Appalachian region, email us at appalachianvibes@gmail.com. Everyone have a beautiful week, and don't forget to share this with your friends and kin. Next week on Appalachian Vibes, one of our featured artists is Catherine the Great.
Well, I've lived a couple places. See, I've got one of them faces people can't recall the second time around. But I hope that they'll remember all the ashes and the embers of the words that I left burning on this rough and rocky ground. I've been told a time or two that I can be a downer. No one's ever pulling for the out-of-towner. I got good at seeing, since I never could believe in what seems so easy to everyone else. A silent observer, waiting for that world turner to reach on out and do something to show me itself. If he could walk on water, well, I guess that I'm a drowner, sinking in a sea of all these other out-of-towners.